Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot. The bell in the background is Stevie and 3, 2, 1. You can't see her, but she just entirely walked across the board. Anyway, today I wanted to do a VR. I feel like I haven't done a VR in quite a bit now. I'm very excited about this one. This is a VR to Kyra Getchell. I will link the original video down below, but it is hashtag living in tarot. So the concept is to show decks that you would like to live in, that you wish you could really visit and stay in your day-to-day life. So I've got some decks picked out. I feel like I could have picked so many, so I kind of kept it to the first few I immediately thought of. So let's just get started, right? Yeah, let's do that. What do I even want to start with? I don't know. Okay. We'll start with this one. Oh my gosh, she is being noisy. The first pick is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. And most of this is because I just love this movie so much. I think it's the funniest world that we get. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I really love this movie. I think all the characters are so funny. All the ways that they live are just so enjoyable. And obviously not everything. There are some the dark parts of the movie, but wouldn't you just love to live in Halloween Town and how the whole world just exists to revolve around all the different holidays? I just think that is so magical. And to be involved in the planning of all the mischief that goes on and all the fun that comes with Halloween, I just think that would be so cool. And also getting to be there in the scene when they're trying to recreate Christmas, I think is the funniest thing. So that is my first choice. It is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, because it would kind of let me live in that movie, you know? Anyway, let's go with this one next. My next pick is the Seasons of the Witch Yule. Now I have two of the three decks out right now. I've got the Samhain and Yule. And I really do love these oracles. I love how witchy they feel. So I really wanted a deck here that had this witchy world built up. But I love winter. I love when it snows. I love winter holidays. I love how you have this natural excuse to, not that you need an excuse, but you know, you tend to slow down, stay at home more, everything's cozy. I also love the weird things happening like this. I just really like the slowness and the quiet that comes with winter. And I just feel like this world going on here is really, really cool, and I don't know, every time I use it, it just really feels transportive, I guess you could say. Like pulling out this deck right now, I can feel what it feels like to have woken up early, went out, did a first layer of shoveling the driveway, which I realize sounds terrible to most people. I actually rather enjoy it because, again, I like the snow. I like being out in the snow especially. And then coming inside, making my coffee, and sitting on my couch just watching the snow, using this deck. It's just my favorite. Probably a lot of that has to do with the fact that I do get snow days somewhat working at the library. We tend to follow what the schools do. So if the weather is too bad, we tend to work from home, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know. This deck is so cozy and makes me think of just my very favorite moments of the year. So that is the Seasons of the Witch Yule. Alright, the next one I have is the Victorian Fairy Tarot, which I've not had this deck out in so long. Like, I've not even taken it out of its bag in so long, so I am excited to just even look at it right now. I mean, first of all, how could you not want to exist in whatever the heck is happening here? But as I'm sure I've said about this deck a million times now, it's so nostalgic to me. This is how I grew up seeing fairies. I don't know if it's necessarily how I see them anymore. This isn't really a deck I use for fairy work. It's more of a general use, inner child ancestral kind of deck for me. I think because this isn't really how I see the fae any longer. To me, this is truly like fairies, not really fae. If that explains it, I don't know. But I want to be in this world because it makes me think of the pictures I grew up seeing in books or things that my grandmother would get me. That even as a little kid, I'd look at them and be like, I want to be there. And there's something too about that Victorian aspect, the like Victorian garb going on. That is always a period of time I've wanted to be. And with the cozy animals, I don't know. It's just a really nostalgic feeling to me, especially in this way, because I really can remember that feeling when I was young of so badly wanting to live in a world like this. I mean, look at this Nine of Cups. That is magical. To me, this is what magic was. And still is. So this deck really makes me think of that nostalgic kind of magic. When you're trying to reconnect with, you know, the little you that used to make potions in the backyard or in the bathtub, things like that. And that feeling doesn't go away for me of wanting to be one with these fairies, get to wear these kinds of clothes and talk to animals and things of that sort. So yes, I could look at this all day. Anyway, but I've got many other decks, so let's keep going. That is the Victorian Fairy Tarot. Okay, the next one we are going to do is the Whispering Spirits Tarot by Joanna Nelson. Part of this is I just love Joanna's artwork. It brings me so much joy to look at. Something about the bright colors, I don't know. It brings me a lot of happiness. So I know living in this world and seeing it around me constantly would make me so happy. The other driving force in this specific selection is I really, really want to know if you were living in this world with whispering spirits. Like, it says whispering, but they don't have mouths. Do they talk? I want to know if they talk. So I will admit that a Joanna Nelson deck would have been in this video regardless of what I picked. Driving force, 80% behind picking this one, is I want to know if they speak, and if they don't, you know, how do they communicate with each other? If they do, what do they sound like? I don't know, that's where my brain goes. A lot of the times when I use this deck is like, how do they communicate? I really badly want to know. And so if I lived there, I'd get to know. But they just all seem so peaceful and neutral. I don't know, I feel like it would be a calm place to be. It's a really calming deck. I think because they don't really have facial expressions, it just feels very neutral. I think it'd be so cool to be one with these creatures as well. And what would I look like as a whispering spirit, you know? I'd like to think I would morph into fitting in to these worlds I've picked. I wouldn't go in looking exactly like I do right now. Like, I'd become a whispering spirit. What would I look like? I'd like to think I'd be pink. I think I would be pink. I would want ears like that. And, or do I want antennas? I don't know. Ooh. No, I would want to be this character, but in pink. Final decision. So that is the Whispering Spirits Tarot. Next up, we've got, oh, no, we've got 3 more. Okay, we've got 3 more to go through. This next one is a newer deck to me. It is the White Hair Wisdom Oracle. Hopefully it's not too noisy right now. I do have my windows open. It's windier than I thought it was. Anyway, this is the same artist and creators that make the, oh goodness, what is that one called? The Wildwood, no, what? Not the Wildwood. Oh, I can't think of it. White Hair Wisdom. This is by, no, it's gonna bother me. We're gonna look that up real quick. Because I can't even think of their names. Terrible. And this is totally one on my list, too. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Secrets of Wanwood just came to me. Secrets of Wanwood. And this art style is just magical, and I love the whole story built around this Matlock the Hare. There are actually ebooks you can read. I've got the first one downloaded to hopefully start reading soon, but this is also a very fall winter based deck for the most part, not always, but that's how it feels to me. So I also love it for that reason. But I love the wonky characters, the different language they have and use. It just feels like everything is alive in this deck in a sense of, like, they've got faces, like, you know, human kind of faces, I guess I should say. I just love it. It's magical, and I don't know if there's much more to even say about it. This is just one you know that you would have a cult, like, everyone owns a cauldron, everyone has a wand, and they work in the sense of, like, you'd see sparks flying out of it or something. And isn't that just the goal? I think it is. I just love it. I really do. So that is the White Hair Wisdom Oracle. And this is the pocket edition I have. The Secrets of Wanwood is definitely on my list, though. That one looks amazing as well. All right, 2 more. Next, we have the, oh my gosh, what are you called? I've got it in this really cute Peggy bag, but what is it called? Oh my gosh. Well, the box is on display. We are ill prepared. Fantastic Menagerie. Oh my gosh. As I trip over my own things. Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. Again, this feels really transportive to worlds I wanted to be in from books when I was little. So that's a huge factor. I think so many of these characters are just so funny. I want to know what animal I would be. Like, what animal head would I have? I don't know. I love anthropomorphic animals. The other one that I was going to include in this video would be Northern Animal, but I kind of just thought that would be a little repetitive because it'd be for very similar reasons. It's just so funny. But the thing that made me choose this one over that is, again, this Victorian garb we get. Like, I want to walk around and I want to see someone with an owl head and, like, an aristocratic Victorian dress. I don't know. I just think that's fantastic. And it's the curiosity too. How do they communicate? Do they speak like humans? Do they continue making their animal sounds because they got animal heads? Do they all just understand all different animal language? These are the questions I need to know. So a lot of my picks are out of sheer curiosity. And again, I don't, like, what animal would I be? I just don't know. If you were to enter this world, what animal do you think you would be? Do you think you would just like choose? Do you think there is an animal energy that just encaptures who you are? Maybe that's how it happens. I don't know. Who's to say? This deck just makes me laugh. And I'd like to be in a world that does that. So, that is the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. And last but not least, we've got the Trionfi della Luna, the illustrated pips. I just think this deck is the funniest, probably the funniest I own. I love how odd the characters are, all the situations that they're getting themselves into. I just want to know what it would be like to live in a world built by Patrick Valenza. And this would be the one I would choose. Like, truly no two characters look even remotely the same. Again, what would I look like as a Patrick Valenza character? I don't know. Was this an extra that came with it that I kept in? I think it was. Oops. Anyway, maybe it's not. I'm gonna keep that on the side just in case. But yeah, I just think there's probably so many weird things going on all the time in this world. This, I mean, who doesn't love this? I mean, just me and my friends hanging out. Having a grand old time. Yes, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Having a face for a stomach. Why not? It's another one that I just think is so funny, and it would just be so interesting to know what life is like in this weird and crazy world that is built in this deck. Oh boy. Anyway, I think that is my last pick for today. There are many more that I could have mentioned, but I didn't want to be too repetitive, and I kind of wanted to... There are some that I immediately would be drawn to because I think they're, like, pretty and nice, but I wanted to look into, like, what would I get out of being in the worlds, though? Like, what really catches my curiosity and interest? So, other than that, I hope you enjoyed my selections. I would love to know what decks you would like to live in. And other than that, I hope you're all having a great week, and I will see you very soon.